I want to introduce myself. And my name is Sean Skelton, and I'm very real. And unfortunately, this is also very real. I didn't know what else to do other than to just come on live and show everybody what my body is going through at all wakening hours of my day. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody online and my friends and family that have reached out and prayed, because I think that's the only thing we have going for us right now is a prayer. And on Monday, well, let's just say I don't know what's happening to my body, okay? It's a good question to me as it is for you, but I know that on Monday, I was a very functioning person, zero medical issues. I work every day. I've been a CNA for 25 years, and I love my patients. I love my job. I got the COVID vaccine, the Moderna, on January the 4th. On Tuesday, I had mild flu-like symptoms. I went to work. Stomach pains and diarrhea, on Tuesday, normal flu-like symptoms. Wednesday, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't able to go to work. My tongue began to spasm out of control. By Thursday morning, I was in full body convulsions. When I get upset, they get a lot worse. But for the most part, this is my typical day. This is right now. I've even taken 2 Valiums. And this is how much my body just controls to move. And I know I have a lot of support, but a lot of you people on Facebook are really mean. I didn't ask for this. And how do you just wake up one day and your whole world is wrong and it's upside down and no one helps you is beyond me. I can't make sense of it. I can walk, but my legs just bounce. I try to stay positive. I joke around. And I know a lot of you are probably going to be jealous that I have better dance moves than you when I stand up. And that's just me trying to be positive. But tomorrow I'm supposed to go to somewhere in Eastern Kentucky and I think get a shock treatment. But I just appreciate everybody's prayers. Do you want to help me get up and walk? I'm just exhausted. It's exhausting for your body to constantly go like this. But it is what it is, and I don't know how else to prove that I'm real. And thank you for your prayers. And there's nothing that would convince me that this is not from the Moderna vaccine. And
the first thing I want to say about this woman, I guess her name is Sean Stelter. If she is telling the truth, and she indeed suffered a reaction like this to the Moderna situation, it is heartbreaking. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I will apologize ahead of time for casting any doubt on her situation. However, in my mind, it would be irresponsible for me not to bring awareness to a video that I uploaded towards the beginning of this whole PCR testdemic that we're under. If you've been subbed to me for a while, you know that I have exposed Dr. Rashid Buttar. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video, and then I'll give you my thoughts when it's over.
The vast majority of doctors say flu shots are safe. In this case, the FDA says they found nothing wrong with this particular batch, but sometimes there are complications. And that's apparently what happened to Desiree Jennings. And now her life will never be the same. Here, 26-year-old Desiree Jennings is the picture of health. She's a Redskins cheerleader ambassador and an avid runner. Her life changed forever on August the 23rd when she says she got a seasonal flu shot at a local grocery store.
I was training for a half marathon and it all went so fast.
Up and down stairs backwards because something as simple as walking forward can be dangerous.
And here's the unusual part about the disorder. Take a look at this. Desiree can run just fine. It's only when she stops. You see, that's where the spasms start. Now you can walk backwards though, and it'll make it better, right?
Yeah. She runs with a normal stride. And as I ran with her, she even spoke normally.
And now you can talk.
Yeah, it's weird. It fixes as soon as I start running.
I mean, you sound.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
You sound amazing. And then you stop, and that's what happens.
I think by now you're beginning to understand the picture here. Something about this woman and her story was fishy.
Do you think that if she was ugly, she would get this much publicity?
And you even had a few meme remixes being created as well, such as the Walk It Out remix.
Hey, now walk it out, 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 now walk it out.
While public opinion began to sway against Jennings and she was being collectively goofed on by the internet, the folks over at the Inside Edition were several weeks deep into a project which they hoped when finished would expose the truth about the woman and her claims. Inside Edition had been covertly filming Desiree Jennings out in public spaces across a span of a couple of weeks. And during their undercover filming operation, they discovered that when Jennings thought no one was filming her, she magically had no symptoms.
But look at Jennings now. Inside Edition supplied this video of her walking normally, playing with her dogs, shopping, and even driving. Inside Edition had been secretly taping Jennings for weeks.
We've been trying to reach you, and you have not been returning our phone calls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's going on? It looks like you've made a complete recovery.
Well, I don't want to say complete recovery. I still have a lot of cognitive issues. I mean, the people are free to believe whatever they want, but, you know, I mean, clearly what I've been going through, I know it's not psychogenic, and it's not a hoax.
By now, you've probably noticed Jennings spoke with a foreign accent that she'd never had before.
I'm from Ohio. I should not be talking like this.
One more thing to notice, when Inside Edition first approached Jennings in this parking lot, she seemed to be walking normally. But after their interview, she walked to her car sideways, saying it was dystonia.
Virginia native is not only able to smile, but she can walk again. These simple steps seemed impossible nearly a month ago when we first introduced you to the Redskins cheerleader. But days after she crossed the finish line, her health took a turn for the worse.
I didn't know what was in her. All I knew was whatever's in her shouldn't be in her.
Actress Jenny McCarthy's foundation, called Generation Rescue, which educates people about ways to reverse autism and concerns over vaccine safety, put Desiree in touch with Dr. Rashid Buttar outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a controversial physician who practices preventative medicine.
When Desiree arrived here more than 3 weeks ago, she was in acute respiratory distress. She could barely breathe, and there were concerns that she just wouldn't make it.
Her face was starting to get that bluish, purplish tint because she couldn't get air. Twice I looked at my head nurse like, I think we got to call EMS.
For the life of me, I have no idea why anyone would believe anything that Dr. Rashid Buttar has to say after Mrs. Jennings' episode, but they still do. Mr. Rashid Buttar has created himself a nice little niche in the truth community lately. He's a regular guest on Dale Bigtree's show. And for those of you that are fans of Dale, someone needs to ask him why he hasn't done his homework on Buttar. And if he has done his homework, then he's obviously a shill, because this guy has no integrity. That being said, Rashid Buttar is a very popular figure right now. He's telling everyone, go watch Out of Shadows. And he's telling everyone how great Donald Trump is. So what do you think? I mean, regardless if that was the first time you witnessed the whole Desiree Jennings debacle, Maybe you viewed it when I originally uploaded it, or hell, you could even know about Desiree for the last decade, because I think that story is like 12 years old. But isn't it eerily similar to this Sean Stelter? And I get that there are differences, but still, damn. So here's my thoughts, okay? Desiree Jennings. The reason that I decided to upload the Desiree Jennings last year wasn't to expose Jennings. It was to really expose Dr. Bitar. And the reason for that was because last spring, I noticed that Dr. Bitar was like he was like a rock star in the anti-vax movement. And I find out that he was part of this scam. So I uploaded it. And in the video, I theorized, okay, this was done to cast doubt on anyone who was skeptical of vaccines. And the reason for that, you have, here comes Desiree. She's gets this quote reaction, most obvious faking ever. Then you have famous people like Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy, who had an autistic child. They come in, they're sympathetic to Desiree. You have normal people who are sympathetic to Desiree. Add on top of that, you have this Dr. Bitar who's going to fix her. And then guess who comes to the rescue? That's right. It's the mainstream media and Inside Edition. They expose this obvious faker and then egg on the face of everyone that has any skepticism whatsoever to vaccines. So that then they can project to normal people, don't you be part of this group, because look at how ignorant they are to fall for something so silly like the Desiree Jennings story. So fast forward to this week, and I just want to make sure that everyone understands what is possible. Okay? The vaccine debate has never been hotter. So if you see this video come across your social media feed, just beware. Again, it's heartbreaking if it actually happened, but damned. You know, two cliche sayings. The one I started this video with, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So I felt like it was my responsibility to repost some of the video of Desiree. And number two, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know, we can't get fooled again.